A journal club is a gathering of individuals of the same field to critically evaluate recent findings and publications in academic literature. Participants take turns into presenting and summarizing different portions of an academic paper to an audience and then have it discussed for further understanding and critical evaluation. Here at Alfaisal University, we host a wide range of journal clubs under many departments, one of which falls under ours, the Surgery Interest Group. Here, we look into new, exciting findings published in the literature pertaining to various surgical fields such as urology, general surgery, trauma surgery, and many more. We want to foster an environment of evidence-based medicine, and journal clubs are one tool by which we can bridge the gap between the literature and clinical practice among our medical students to set them up for success. Today, we're going to take you through one of the many journal clubs hosted throughout the academic year, particularly elaborating on the structure of how journal clubs flow under the Surgery Interest Group. Members of the Interest Group apply through a form if they wish to participate in a journal club. After a thorough selection process, the presenters that are selected are provided with guidance of a seasoned mentor and researcher. They are provided with ample preparation period accompanied by comprehensive support through each stage of their presentation preparation. They are trained in how to read academic literature, understand what articles are trying to answer, dissect the methodology used, understand the implication of the results, and critically appraise design and statistical analysis within papers. The paper we chose for this particular journal club falls under the field of general surgery, titled Effect of Laparoscopic Sleeve Gastrectomy versus Roux-en-Y Gastric Bypass on Weight Loss, Comorbidities, and Reflux at 10 years in adult patients with obesity, which was published in the Journal of the American Medical Association. Our presenters are Warif, Larib, Rafa, Ghida, and Muhammad. So, let's have a look at the training process.
I would like to give a quick rundown of our journal club's work. We're going to have 4 to 5 distinguished talented presenters.
No need to memorize it off the top of your head, because it's a long title that's not required of you.
We need to look at the BMI. Now how do we find the BMI? And a tube-like section is left. You can compare between the before and after pictures. Moving on, we have the Roux-en-Y gastric bypass.
The linear mixed model is
That's number one. You have chi-squared and Fisher exact test, number two.
call it the weird pose thing. As you finish your part, just stand. Say that you're gonna pass the mic, hand the mic over to my colleague who's gonna continue with the results section, who's gonna start with the methodology section and whatnot.
You can't change here. I can tell you what model your based estimate is not. You can just say it's, you can just say it is the model. Loss could be expected. It's just an estimate. You get it right?
You got it, right?
You don't need to read it. I say it. I say it. What?
Can
Mentions that the study is looking at how much weight the patients have lost over 10 years. It looks at the health problems
That we're going to discuss, starting with type 2 diabetes, dyslipidemia.
It is a measure of how much weight a person has relative.
We're going to be covering the adult onset diabetes.
In our journal clubs, we invite an experienced moderator within the field pertaining to the subject of the journal club, in this case, general surgery and obesity medicine. Today's moderator is Dr. Alaa Alhazmi, who is a board-certified surgeon and obesity medicine specialist with experience in general, upper gastrointestinal, and bariatric surgery. He is the chairman of the trauma committee at King Faisal Specialist Hospital and Research Center. He has been instrumental in enhancing surgical care and education. His work is complemented by numerous research publications and contributions to global surgical initiatives. He will be weighing his insights on the journal club session today and providing feedback to the presenters and providing his critical appraisal of the paper.
How they mentioned where they use multiple implications. So they specifically told us that.
We're about to start off. How you feeling?
I'm not part of this team.
Okay.
With the fine diced chopped up pistachio. Just a small sprinkle عشان دكتور specific request.
Okay.
في عنا Oreo and Lotus بقلاوة.
Okay.
Specific for the attendees. We really care about people who attend. It's just a gesture of how much we respect and love.
Okay. Are you guys ready for whatever's going on?
Don't ask me that. Don't ask me. For the most part, inshallah.
You ready?
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
I would like to welcome all of you to SIG's third installment of their Journal Club series, and today's topic will revolve about general surgery. Clinical Risk Management Officer, and also Dr. Alaa chairs the Trauma Committee.
The very first section handled by the presenters is the introduction of the paper, that he will be providing background, context, and elaborating on terminology relevant to the discussion of the paper for the sake of the audience.
Hello everyone, I'm Alaa Alhazmi and I'm a third year medical student. 650 million adults are obese. Obesity. It also says that it is a sleeve pass randomized clinical trial, included only if they had obesity-related conditions. The people that were completely removed or excluded from the...
After each presenter is done with their portion, Dr. Alaa provides feedback for the presenter and opens up a back and forth discussion regarding the article.
So I like the fact that you actually introduce what are the procedures and what they are and what they do. I just want to make sure that you guys also put into perspective that these procedures that we do, they're not just anatomic alteration of the GI tract, they actually have a hormonal mechanism without delving into the details further.
Warif and Larib are tackling the methodology section. They will be elaborating on the nature of the study design and the statistical analysis models employed and the reasoning behind their use.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Warif and today I'm going to continue with the methodology section. So, as my colleague Larib mentioned, the primary endpoint for this trial was the weight loss defined by the percentage excess weight loss, or EWL.
Okay. So, you remember when you said the matching process, and they did the smart thing of doing the comprehensive upper endoscopy at the beginning of the study. They didn't know what to do. They didn't realize that 10 years later, if they did not do that part, they would not be able to do the post hoc analysis to look into GERD. So I tip my hat to them in that way, and I think it's very well designed.
At the halfway point, a break is given for the presenters and the audience for refreshments.
See, I told you, we were able to converse with the doctor and have a conversation back and forth to be fluent.
The results and findings of this study are summarized by Rafa and Rida. They will be discussing the major statistically and clinically significant findings, analyzing the results, and determining any major clinical impact.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, I'm Rafa Shaheen, a third year medical student. I'll be explaining parts of the results section for you today. Oh, we're looking at GERD symptoms, right? Barrett's esophagus, right? Yes. So we're going to refer back to that later in the results section, okay?
My name is Badamush. I'll be continuing the rest 3 points from it. Bear with me. It's going to be a lot of numbers. We're going to retouch on something that my colleague Warif mentioned. That while these values were not statistically significant, each with their own p-value.
I said, they applied the protocols very rigorously. That's exactly why I mentioned it.
So you guys made a very boring part of this very exciting.
And finally, Mohammed is handling the discussion section of this study, highlighting the author's thoughts and what implication this study has on the field of surgery.
I'd like to start off by thanking my co-presenters for their eloquent presentation so far. They've done an incredible job. And before I start, I'd also like to thank Dr. Alaa for gracing us with his presence here today. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mohammed Tariq. I'm a second-year medical student, and I'm going to be taking over the discussion section, and I'm very excited for this one. And another thing to take note of is that we're going to be playing a little game of sleeve or pass. Both of these procedures with the equivalence margins that have been discussed earlier, and I'll explain why, and I'll give an analogy of how to understand and fathom this, because it can be baffling and confusing sometimes.
One might argue against this premise is that, they've used these quality surveys, quality of life surveys, where the patient actually reports.
At the end, we invite the moderator on stage to give their thoughts regarding the journal club, the presenters, and the article. We present plaques and certificate for the moderator and the presenters, along with pictures with the entire surgery intergroup board.
Well, I would like first to thank you for the invitation, and I totally appreciate the efforts of the surgery intergroup. It's actually a very unique venture, which I'm very happy to be involved with. I would like to thank, especially thanks Osama and Walid and the rest of the board of the group. This is definitely a very unique venture, and I think you guys are along making something unique. This is definitely, I can see future surgeons doing far and beyond than the traditional way of doing things.
We also host a trivia game for the attendees at the end, which includes questions curated by the presenters for a chance to win a special prize. We have a trivia game!
Did everyone answer?
And with that, the journal club session is concluded.
Thank you so much for all the rehearsals and staying so late.
So how do you feel about the journal club?
I think I like it. It's very well structured, very well organized. Presenters are doing really well. They're explaining the topic really well.
Guys, did you enjoy the journal club?
Yeah,
Yes,
sure.
loved
It
it.
was amazing. Bro, like legit, bro. One of the best journal clubs I ever attended. Like, I'm talking facts here. I'm speaking.